And a very warm welcome, everybody, to our council meeting today, Thursday, the 5th of June. If we could all stand for our opening karakia, please. Tu tawa mai ronga, tu tawa mai raro, tu tawa mai roto, tu tawa mai waho, kia tau ai te Māori tū, te Māori ora, ki te katoa, haungi e, hui e, tāi ki e. Just a reminder that this meeting is being live streamed on our council's Facebook page. We have apologies today from Deputy Mayor Brosnan. If I could have a mover and seconder, thank you. Councillor Mawson, Councillor Crystal, all those in favour please say aye. Aye. Against, carried. Do we have any conflicts of interest? No. There's no public forum. And I would just like to take a moment to acknowledge the passing of former Deputy Mayor Ian Dick. Ian was a Napier City councillor from 1989 to 2001 and served as the Deputy Mayor for 6 years during that period. He was awarded the Queen's Service Medal in the 2018 New Year's Honours, and the citation noted his involvement in school boards, the Council of St Thomas More Parish and the Lions International Community Service movement, of which he was a life member. He was incredibly active in our community, and he will most certainly be remembered for his many, many years of service to the Napier community. So, taking the time to pay respects for Ian Dick today. And are there any announcements by management?
No announcements.
Okay. Confirmation of minutes. We have draft council minutes to be confirmed for Tuesday the 15th of April, which was the reserve management plan hearings, Thursday the 17th of April, local water done well, and Thursday the 24th of April. If I could have a mover and seconder, bearing in mind you had to be there for all three of those, Councillor Price and Councillor Crystal. Thank you very much. All those in favour please say aye. Aye. Against and carried. Right, we will launch right into our agenda items. First up we have the draft Waste Management and Minimisation Bylaw 2025 submissions report. So welcome Steph up to the front to present the paper to us. Good morning ladies, and Sarah, welcome to both of you. Morena.
Kia ora koutou. Thank you for having us to present on this wee report on our Waste Management and Minimisation Bylaw 2025. This is just to inform Council that we've received a couple of submissions, both very supportive and in favour of what we have put in the draft bylaw for to go out for hopefully adoption by you guys on the 26th of June this year. Yeah, does anybody have any feedback or questions or anything that we want to make changes to?
Councillor Brown.
Through the Mayor. Thank you. During our WMP hearings, it came up around where Council has control and where it has not that much influence. And it strikes me that our building consent and our resource consent processes is where we have quite a lot of control. And we talked about maybe including quite a supportive, educational, helpful approach to waste minimisation as part of that process. And it sits outside the WMP but sits within this bylaw. Would you be able to talk to whether that is an option underneath the wording we've got in front of us?
Mm-hmm. Through you, Madam Chair. Thank you for that, Councillor Brown. Yes, we use this bylaw as an implementation tool for our waste management and minimisation plan, and we have not put it in as a clause to have those waste management plans in place, but rather as a control. The reason for that is that would give us that lighter, supportive mechanism to get into that construction and demolition space. It is quite a new waste stream. We know that it's always just gone straight to landfill. And with that being, the bylaw being an implementation tool, by the time that we've fully into our new WMP, we would have a better understanding over the next 5 years when this comes up for review, the bylaw comes up for review, where that sits and how we can have a stronger influence on that. So we will use it as a control to start that education process and that support process before we actually see what that looks like, and if we need to review it and amend it to have a stronger influence, then that might be the outcome, but it's not fit for purpose for now. That makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Crown and then Councillor Gregg.
Thank you, through the Mayor. Thank you, ladies. I think it's a very pragmatic approach that we're taking, or that you're suggesting that we take around the controls. And my question is around the engagement. So it looks like we had a really good response to the pre-engagement section through the WMMP, but actual submission numbers for the bylaw, I'd probably say it would be nice to have a little bit more feedback formally through that. Can you talk about the learnings that you guys might take and apply in the future based on the experience that you've had with that sort of, with those responses?
Thank you, Councillor Crown, through you, Madam Chair. Yes, we do acknowledge it's a bit light of the feedback that we did get. We are mindful that it was, and we acknowledge that there was quite a lot of consultation going on at the same time. We did promote and advertise through face-to-face engagement, our Facebook feeds, hard copies at our libraries, the customer services, the DG screen, everything was side by side with our WMMP. We did get only a couple of submissions through that. I think if we had more time up our sleeve, we would have probably tried to do it separately, but it is, we worked towards a very, very stringent timeline to get this adopted in time for everything. So, yeah.
And sorry, just subsequent to that, so just for clarity, you think that by separating out the consultations, you would have had more of a response possibly on this particular part, the bylaw aspect of?
Perhaps, yes.
Okay, so that's what you would do differently next time?
Yes, possibly. We'll see, because Hastings has got theirs out now, their bylaw, and they were going to do it at the same time as what the WMMP's consultation was, but there were internal things that pushed them out. And so we'll see what kind of feedback they get out of it, and that would help make us make a decision for next time when we do this. But yeah, it was done. Everything was done together, and it was promoted just as much. The plan was just as much promoted as what the bylaw was promoted. But with some of the things, people do get, it's a blurred line. They just see waste, and so for us to have had those conversations with people to say, look, this one is the regulatory part of it, and this is our plan going forward, and this is our implementation tool into it. But yeah. We even took some social media feedback on board, not as a full-on submission, but we took it into consideration in both the plan as well as the bylaw, wherever certain comments popped up that could be useful. Yeah.
Councillor Gregg.
Yes, through you, Madam Mayor. Just a question about fly tipping again. Is there any change in the bylaw in how council deals with fly tipping, or in the future, is there anything sort of planned for that space?
Through you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Councillor Gregg. In terms of fly tipping, we've mentioned this before, that there are 6 other bylaws within council that looks after fly tipping. The Waste Minimisation Act 2008, as well as the Litter Act 1979, both have gone under review to look at it jointly. Perhaps we've done submissions as a council for whatever commentary we might have in terms of support for that. But at this stage, this bylaw will focus on the implementation of our plan, which is to drive waste minimisation in there.
Thank you. Any further questions? No. Could I have a mover and seconder to receive and consider all submissions, and note office will prepare the report for adoption to come to us on the 26th of June. Thank you very much, Councillor Brown. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Tariha. Would you like to speak to that, Councillor Brown?
Yeah, just
briefly, thank you. Huge congratulations to the waste team. This has been a huge amount of work, and with the hearings on Friday, you've pulled it all together very quickly. Just sort of to Councillor Crown's point, having both of them out for consultation obviously shows which bits the WMP is the bit that lights people up about waste. We got incredibly good feedback, and the staff did an amazing job of providing really well-rounded feedback. It's the first time I've seen all of the Facebook comments being included in our documents and emails, and it was a really impressive amount of feedback that we got. And to me, this feels like just the flow on. So if they were doing it at the same time and this matched that, then why would you continue to consult or submit? So yeah, a huge well done, and it's great to see that we've got options within this to be able to drive those key areas of waste minimisation.
Thank you. Councillor Pariha.
Nothing further to add, just tautoko Councillor Brown's kōrero, and yeah, thank you for the mahi.
Any further speakers to the motion? So I'll put that. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against, and carried. And a thank you from myself as well for all the hard work that has gone into this. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And next up, and for the balance of our open part of our agenda, welcome Anna. First, we have amendment to the 2025 meeting schedule.
Through the Mayor, this is just a proposal for a new meeting to be added to the meeting schedule for the hearing of submissions with the lease options for Kennedy Park and Ocean Spa on the 26th of August.
Any questions? Could I have a mover and seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Taylor. Councillor Price. Any comments from either of you?
Can I just say something, please? Just a question. It's really useful to see this whole annual plan as it is of our meetings. I know it'll be in the minutes and the agendas and everything and available to the public, but I wondered if it would be appropriate to put that somewhere a bit more prominent, under meetings perhaps, if it isn't already.
It is already, so we have all our meeting dates and times advertised on our meetings page on the website.
Is it this?
It's not that document, but it is in a calendar format, and people can go through the months and see what's scheduled.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. I missed that.
Okay, excellent, thank you. I will put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against, and carried. Right, next, the 2025 Local Government New Zealand Annual General Meeting remits, of which I think there was 4 or 5 for us to consider.
That's correct. 5 have been proposed. So I've attached the document, but security system payments, improving joint management agreements, alcohol licensing fees, aligning public and school bus services, and the review of local government arrangements to achieve better balance.
Excellent, thank you. I'll just open up for a general discussion because these aren't Anna's remits. So I guess really it's about which of these we would like to support going forward to the conference next month. I thought the security system one was quite interesting. But yeah, just open up really for any discussion or comments from anybody and some indications of what you would like us to support as council.
I'd like to speak to the alcohol licensing fees. It makes a lot of sense. Because, you know, we often find with requirements from central government that we're not adequately funded for those, and this is an example of that, so I'd fully support that one in particular. Well, I don't have any objections to any of the others, to be honest.
Thanks, Max. Actually, and what might be easiest is if we go through them one by one and then we can sort of indicate our support or otherwise. So first up was the security system payments, which is a remit from the Far North District Council and the Central Otago District Council that LGNZ advocates for security system payments to be included as an allowance under the local government members' determination. And this is in line with those afforded to members of Parliament. So it is aligning us with central government, and it is, I guess, around highlighting the importance of safety for elected members in light of, I guess, the environment that we find ourselves in currently. Councillor Gregg.
Just a question, would that be funded through local government or through central government?
It would be funded through local government through the remuneration authority process. So, it would be coming from our budget.
So subsequent to that, that is quite a big cost. Say every elected member had that, that would be quite a big cost to local government?
I think it would be at individual members' discretion if they chose to take that up. So it wouldn't necessarily be, And I think there is, allows for up to $4,500 to install, along with $1,000 per year to monitor. That's the members of Parliament determination, and the proposal would be to align with that. For me personally, this is one that I'm struggling to support. I think that should be a cost that if an individual elected member felt they wanted to have security measures in place, they should fund that cost themselves. Councillor Crystal.
And many of us might already have cameras and things already in place. That's normal in a lot of homes these days. So, I don't think that I should be funded, that our ratepayer should be funded.
Our ratepayers, yeah. Councillor Brown.
Just to play the devil's advocate on that, I suppose. With the Remuneration Authority advice, we choose whether we take it on as a council or not. Thinking like the childcare allowance, we haven't taken on what they have said locally. And so, I suppose, like just looking globally at how politicians are being treated, and if we continue to want to have sane, wise people putting their hand up to do this job, then we want to make sure that we're keeping them safe and that it's an attractive job to put your hand up and do. So, I don't know, I don't see any problem in supporting it, and if we chose as a council to not want it here, that is still an option available to us down the track.
Any further views? Councillor Crown.
Yeah, through you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Brown. I was actually thinking the opposite, to be honest. And when I read this one, I thought that this option potentially would be available to all elected members rather than using the child care subsidy as an example, which is only available to people with children and in their situation. And this actually would blanket cover every elected member, potentially. In saying that, I have a level of uncomfortability about putting something like this in place, and I feel like if we support the remit, then we'd be contradicting ourselves if we didn't look to implement it here and take it on board if it was successful. So, that's where I'm at. I think there is, there's philosophically, there's probably reason for it, but my personal view is that I just don't feel comfortable, and I wouldn't feel comfortable supporting a remit if we didn't intend to pursue it seriously and looking at implementing it here.
Councillor Simpson.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair. I think budding politicians should understand the environment they're entering. I think there are far more worthy things that councils can be spending their funding on. I certainly wouldn't be supporting this as a remit.
Okay. Councillor Taylor.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm probably down the same line. I think there's roles in the community that are far more dangerous than ours, and I don't think that those particular people are funded to have security systems on their homes, so it's not one that I'd support.
Thank you. I might just say thank you everyone that spoke to that. I might just ask for a quick show of hands. Those who it might be easier if I ask those who do support us leaving security system payments in. Councillor Bogue, the bulk of us are not wanting to support it, so that's a no to security system payments. Next, we have the improving joint management agreements, and this is around advocating to government for legislative change to make the joint management agreement mechanism more accessible for councils to use with iwi hapu, and this goes around technical, legal and financial support to facilitate the use of joint management agreements. So open up for views. And this was from Northland Regional Council. I'm happy to speak in support of this remit. I think that joint management agreements are a very useful mechanism in terms of how we work with our iwi and hapu, and actually having the legislative change to make it more accessible for us is something that would be incredibly useful in terms of our partnerships and relationships. Councillor Simpson.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair. I tend to agree, but I think this is what we call a relationship thing. If we've got good, strong relationships, we shouldn't actually need it.
Yeah, I think it's that this is around strengthening it, ensuring that this mechanism is actually included in the new resource management legislation. So I totally understand what you're saying, that if you have a good, strong relationship, you may not need this, but it does give it more sort of impetus and more teeth, for want of a better word, if it's actually embedded in legislation. Okay. So again, I'll just ask for a show of hands of those who support improving joint management agreements. Excellent, thank you. 3, alcohol licensing fees, which Councillor Bogue has already spoken very eloquently about. Councillor Mawson.
Yeah, just through the chair, I agree with Councillor Bogue. Hastings, for example, have got a bylaw in and they're putting their fees up 100%. So I think that this is actually quite good for, it's a bit more equitable, and it enables, say, small clubs and so forth not to be hit big time. And when we face with this with other fees in our own business, where, you know, we haven't reviewed something for a while and all of a sudden people get hit. So I think that this is a good one if it were to go across, but we've got to support it, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any different views around the table, or are we all supportive of alcohol licensing fees from the Far North District Council? Excellent, so supporting that one. 4, aligning public and school bus services from the Nelson City Council, and I think this is probably quite relevant for us at the moment. We know that we've had a number of our school bus service routes impacted and discontinued recently, which can create a lot of stress for our community. So again, I support us supporting this remit. Councillor Gregg.
Through you, Madam Mayor, just to that point, is it cost effective? I'm just thinking about the company running the bus services. I mean, are we forcing them into...
It's Regional Council.
Regional Council, okay.
Okay. Happy to support?
Yep.
Excellent, thank you. And last, this is a biggie, review of local government arrangements to achieve better balance. And I think there is some commentary in the remit about previous pieces of work that have been done in this space. I guess I sort of reflect on the review of local government that was undertaken by the previous Labor government, that is now sitting gathering dust on a shelf somewhere, but actually did have some very, very good recommendations in it. I think at a high level and philosophically, I do agree with the remit, and I think it would be fair to say we all acknowledge that we would like to see some work in this space. So I guess, yeah, opening up for any discussion and indication of support or otherwise.
better sports organisation that needs to happen.
Yeah.
I think, yes, I agree with it. I think anything that promotes better collaboration between local government, New Zealand local government, and central government and things that affect us has got to be good. So I'm in support of that.
Any different views? Okay, so we will support the review of local government arrangements to achieve better balance. So that means that we are supporting 4 of the 5 with security system payments not supported. Could I have a mover and seconder for that? I'm happy to move from the chair, seconded by Councillor Mawson. So this, yes, will now obviously go through to Local Government New Zealand Conference next month, where then gets voted on across all councils. So I will represent us at the AGM where this process is undertaken and report back after that meeting. So,
Just a question, Madam Mayor. Who are the delegates to the local government conference this year?
the local government conference this year is the committee chairs and myself are going this year with it. Yeah. Thank you. So I'll put that motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against and carried. Excellent. And then our final agenda item in open is the minutes of joint committees. We have 3 sets of minutes: the Climate Action Joint Committee, Hawke's Bay Regional Transport Committee and Hawke's Bay Crematorium Committee. And I guess I will just open up to the representatives on those committees if there was anything in particular that you wanted to update on, or if there's any questions from any elected members on any of the minutes. No. Okay, can I have a mover and seconder? Thank you, Councillor Gregg. Councillor Price, if there's no further discussion, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against and carried. Thank you very much, Anna. Right, so we will now move into public excluded. If I could have a mover and seconder for that. Thank you, Councillor Tariha and Councillor Crystal. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against, carried. Excellent. And we'll just have a very brief 2-minute break before we move into our agenda.